Let's start with you know what? We're back to you, Miss Monday. You're first.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Listen, you've been in the area for some time. You know what I'm saying? You've helped out, you've participated, you volunteered your time, your service. What do you love about the Voorhees schools?
Oh man, what don't I love? We moved here in 2019. My son was turning 3, and I wanted to move to a community where we could live for his entire educational career and know that he would just receive the best public education. And that was really the driving factor of what brought us to Voorhees. And I will tell you, the past, we're going into his 3rd year in Voorhees schools, and it has exceeded every expectation that I've had. The accessibility every year of the people in the schools, from his main school, his main teacher in his class, to his pull-out services teachers, to the counselors, to the principal. They're just spectacular,
Yeah.
Every person reaches out to me and make sure, that we're receiving what we need, make sure that I know that I can reach out to them whenever anything's happening. There's just such a comfort level, and he has a comfortability going to school every day. He has so much joy.
Mhm.
I couldn't be more thrilled. And every single teacher he's had has just been just spectacular. I mean, we just have the very best teachers. I really didn't know what, public education teachers, you just aren't exposed to it until you have a kid in school and you start coming into contact with these people. And it just is remarkable. Their skill set is remarkable.
I'm going to second that.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Pleasantville?
Yeah.
Okay. So in my world and where I'm from, this is like Pleasantville.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So like when I first came here, I didn't come here for the schools because I didn't know nothing about the schools.
Yeah.
I came to Voorhees because I knew a girl when I was 18. True story.
That's great. That's
True
so
story.
good.
Okay. And I was like, wow, this is Jersey? I thought Jersey was just oil refineries.
Yeah.
So I'm from New York. That's what we know Jersey as, oil refineries on the turnpike. So
great.
Spoken like a New Yorker.
So when I came to Voorhees and my kids started going to Osage, and one particular person, Mr. Cramner, and I just would just observe him and how he knew everybody's name.
Yes.
That to me was like, oh my gosh, like I think I'm in Pleasantville. Like, how do you know everybody's name? It's like 700 kids in Osage, and he knows everybody's name. So it's a shout out to him, but it's definitely for all the teachers, all the schools. They're great schools. Yes. So I agree with you because I'm not from the area either.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, like it just doesn't get no better, right?
It doesn't get any better.
So,
it really doesn't.
All right, Miss Cuttover for you. All right. So you've been here.
I've been here.
Did you graduate from? Are you
No, I'm a New Yorker too.
Oh, you're a New Yorker.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Pardon me.
That's all right. How dare you? Yeah, it's cool.
But you've been here for some time.
Been here for 20 years.
Right, and your kids have matriculated through an XYZ.
Yes.
What do you love about the Voorhees schools?
Yeah. So I'll piggyback on that. The teachers and the staff have been incredible. Sure. But to me, it's about, there's no limit to the amount of partnership that you can create as a parent with the schools.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do is there for you. You can go in, you can be a room parent. I had most of my younger daughter's teachers were in a texting relationship with me because she has severe nut allergies. When she was in elementary school, and they would sometimes have food in school before we had more policies and procedures around nut allergies, which we do now, thankfully. There was a lot of food in school, and they would text me labels. Can she eat this? Can she eat that?
Wow.
I have always felt like I was sending my children to a place where they were going to be loved and seen and educated and taken care of. And as a parent, there's nothing more important than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Ms. Watson, what about you? I know you've been here for some time. You're from the area. Is that correct? Okay. All right. So, but you've been here for some time. You've been serving on the board. The kids are in school. They're matriculating through as we speak. What is it that you love about the Voorhees schools?
So I will also reiterate what everyone else has said. We have the best educators, bar none.
Sure.
But what I actually really love about this district in particular is that nothing's impossible. I love being a part of a community, an administrative group of individuals, a group of educators in general, that there is no bar. If you want to think about the impossible, like that, you will get a team of people together that will think that through with you and make it happen. When we wanted full day kindergarten, it was, oh no, we're not going to do it. No, we make it happen. Like we want a preschool. We're defying boundaries. We're partnering with another district and making a preschool. I mean, that is
right,
unheard of.
right,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, it's so incredible, and it's so incredible for this. Think of the kids that we're impacting,
Absolutely,
and that are going to be part of our educational system. That we're reaching beyond Voorhees and helping other communities. So I think that, I think now we have this pandemic aftermath that we keep mentioning and talking about. I'm not worried. I think we're going to think of really creative ways to address this, and we're going to get past it. Same with behavioral problems. We have a lot of issues that arise throughout kind of our tenures, and nothing seems impossible. I just feel like we can get through because this community is so strong and so collaborative and so passionate about education.
And creative and innovative. I mean, I think about Helen, for example, our BA, who's like the best in the state. We have budget cuts, no worries.
No problems, right?
She'll figure it out.
Yep.
We didn't have any hits on this district. And by the way, that's unusual. It's anomalous in this area. A lot of other districts had to cut this, that, and the other thing. Not here. Not because we didn't lose money. We did.
Sure.
Right? But she was able to creatively find solutions that did not have a hit to our stakeholders, which is incredible. And it's all about creativity and thinking outside the box. I couldn't agree more with that.
Thank you for that, Ms. Kettle. I appreciate that that answer. All right, so listen, I'm about to land the plane here a little bit. So last question I have, and I'll start with Ms. Munyon. I'll start with you. Being that you've witnessed a lot, you've seen this district grow. Okay, it's a two-part question. With the growth, with everything that you've seen from your vantage point, what is it that you think that we do well as far as Voorhees Public Schools?
Okay, I think that we take on new challenges really well, and I do think about the kindergarten, the preschool, the world language in elementary school.
Big time, yeah.
Whenever we come up with an idea of we need to give our children more access to something, we find a way to implement it. And there's been so many new things that have been implemented in the past several years that have really expanded the kids' access to just a broader education in a lot of ways. And I think that we do really well at tapping into that. We analyze, communities around us. What do they do that we could advance on? Is there anywhere where we're lacking or we're falling behind that we can bring ahead? And we're so quick to respond to those things that it does keep us on the cutting edge of education when we look at our surrounding towns and compare ourselves.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And so let me ask you, with that being said, all the wonderfulness that we do have, right? There's always room to grow, right? Where do you see that we can maybe grow a little bit?
Okay, so for me, I think, I'm in construction management.
Okay.
And I've been in construction management for 20 years. And when I started, I was always the only woman in the room. Every room I went into, I was the only woman in the room. And I'm in a very male-dominated field. And I think it's really been maybe the past 10 years that women have even started to understand that they can be involved in engineering. And architect and technology.
No bounds.
These things that have been traditionally, historically, male-dominated fields have become much more diverse.
Sure.
And, we get a lot of graduates from Drexel that we bring into our company. And there's a lot more women going to Drexel because we have learned how, our industry has learned how to reach down into the high schools and the middle schools and let them know this is here for you too.
Absolutely.
And this is possible for you too. And I think the more that we expose our children in their entire educational journey to STEM programming and to what that means and what that can mean for their future and for their employment opportunities and for their growth prospects, I think that is just, it raises all boats,
Absolutely.
And I think it makes things accessible to communities that they previously weren't accessible to. And that to me is like a really exciting prospect. And I think STEM specifically is somewhere where the growth opportunities are limitless.
Always. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ms. Cadova, I'll start with you. You, like I said, your kids are, you've had kids matriculated through already, right? So you've been around for some time. What is it that you really love about our schools?
It's hard to answer that. There's so much that I love, right? I love the teachers. I love the diversity of the community. I love the creativity that we bring to all of it. I think most of the time it's a very collaborative community.
Sure.
I think we are thoughtful about the future. So we're positioning ourselves not just for the present, but for what's coming down the pike. We're looking down the road. What are the trends in education, which I think sets us up for the future. I think we are open to feedback. So one of the things that I love, and by the way, I do think Dr. Hackett has a major role in setting the tone in this.
Absolutely.
She's the leader, right?
Absolutely.
She is open to feedback. She processes feedback as a leader better than a lot of leaders I've seen in the world, to be honest. And she's open to it, and she doesn't take it as judgment.
Right.
She sees feedback as a growth opportunity.
Absolutely.
So to the extent she models that for us, that's how we show up as a district.
Right.
How can we do better?
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the ways in which we maintain our resilience and our relevance, and we stay where we need to be.
Absolutely.
And we continue to elevate.
Right. Okay. No, thank you for the answer. Now, with that being said, are there any, which they are, because they always are, right? We're forever growing. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are some growth opportunities, or maybe just one in particular growth opportunity that you feel like could happen within the Voorhees Public Schools?
So I still think we have to do better with supporting our middle school students to be ready for high school. I think, now I've had 2 kids going from 8th grade to 9th grade. My older one is a sophomore in college. My younger one is a freshman in high school. So it's fresh. She's in transition right now from 8th grade to 9th grade. And I think that, the middle school is a very loving, supportive environment. And I think we could do better to train them for better overall student hygiene, how to use flashcards, how to study for tests, time management, executive functioning skills, because when they get to high school, it's like the gloves are off.
That's right.
Especially for kids who are in advanced classes, but not even that.
Right.
There's a huge leap from 8th to 9th grade. So I think we could do better with setting them up for success in high school.
I agree. Listen, that jump from 8th to 9th grade is like going from the pond to the ocean.
Totally.
Yeah.
And you're a tadpole.
Yeah.
Where there's sharks in there and everything. So that's what it's like, and I totally agree. And I think the middle school, those middle school years are always tough years because those are the raging, I call them the raging emotions, right? This is when you start to become into who you kind of are.
Exactly.
You're becoming.
Yeah.
Right? You're not there yet, but
No.
It's just the raging emotions. That's what I'll say. So, but thank you for that answer. And last but not least, Madam President, you've been around for some time. You yourself just reported that, most of your education has been in private school, right? So, but yet you're very passionate about public school, which is, I think, is phenomenal. And you're choosing to do it here. Why? What is it that you love about the Voorhees Public Schools?
I mean, like everyone else, I love a lot. But one thing in particular that I love is the dedication to keeping the community informed. And I think that that's been a massive change over the last 6 years. I think we got a little bit, now we get a lot of it.
Absolutely.
So I think that that's been a huge stride in the right direction. I think that board service is really complicated, and the community, there's a lot that we can't tell the community because we're restricted from doing so.
Right.
And we don't want to sit in a board meeting and explain like, oh, we can tell you X, Y, and Z, but we can't tell you A, B, and C. And this is why nobody wants to hear all of that. But what they do want is the information.
Right.
And so we're doing everything we can within the confines of our role to really let the community know as much as we possibly can tell them about everything. And when we can't tell them, I think last night's a really good example. We're going to bring you community members that can tell you why you can't know that information.
Right.
This partnership with Chief Bordy is going to be hugely helpful.
Absolutely.
Because the community doesn't understand. Like, they hear, oh my gosh, there was something that bad that happened. There was a threat. I want to know everything. I mean, listen, we're gossip, people by nature. Everybody wants to know the tea.
Entertainment, yeah.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. But it actually impacts and obstructs the ability for us to do a really good investigation. And the community is going to understand that, because Chief Bordy knows how important it is, wanted to partner with us, and then is now coming to speak to us to kind of educate the community, so that we don't want to be the bad guys. We don't want to be the board that doesn't tell you stuff.
Right.
But sometimes we can't. And I'm glad that people are learning and we're educating the public about what we can and cannot communicate. And so I think that's something I'm hugely, hugely happy about. But I'm also, as a parent, so happy and love about this community, because I feel informed.
And you know what? Listen, you've answered both my questions, because in the way that we can grow is becoming more collaborative, right? And forming those partnerships. And I mean, listen, Chief Bordy's going to come and he's going to talk about why, some of the things that go on during an investigation and why we can't speak. But the bigger thing is that he's coming to speak to all the parents to let them know, I'm on the job. Right. My team and my squad and my police force, we're here to protect your children. And I think that is the main thing as well, as far as and also included with the partnership as well. All right. So I just think that, the collaborativeness is where I've never seen a community where everyone works together. That I've never lived. This is the longest place I've lived. I've lived, other than New York, but I've lived here for like 14, 15 years. Everywhere else, I was 3 years and done.
Right.
3 years done. 3 years done. I'm out of here. But here, I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys, we all, that's why we're Ideas for Tomorrow, because we love it.
Yeah.
That's what we love. We love Voorhees. We love our schools. We love our children.
Yes, we do.
So listen, I do have one more question. And I'll start with Ms. Kettover. Okay. And it's your final thought. In your final thought, what do you want every student, every family, every teacher, every community member to know about you running and what you're going to represent?
Oh, that's so easy.
I know. It wasn't. Yeah.
Good luck.
You can take it.
I'm glad you have to go first.
I may not always get it right, but I'm going to try to do the right thing.
I love it.
I am deeply, deeply committed to doing the best by everybody, and I will make mistakes.
Absolutely.
And when I do make mistakes, I will own my mistakes.
Right.
I am here for the right reasons, and I will always show up prepared and ready to do the job. That's what I want them to know.
Appreciate that. Now, the other two have had time to think about their answers, right?
Seriously.
So,
not much.
So, Ms. Money, you ready?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
So, listen, your final thought, okay? What do you want every student, every family, every community member, every teacher to know what you represent, what you're running for the board?
I think that I'm here to serve, that I will work hard, that I will stay focused, that I will actively practice humility, that I will learn, that I will work to grow. And I will just give it my very best effort, and like Julie said, I'm going to make mistakes. Absolutely. I'm a human being. I'm going to make mistakes. But I will use every opportunity to grow
from the mistake,
from any mistake that happens, and I'll own that, and I'll hold myself accountable. I work for self-awareness, we talked about that a little bit earlier. And, so the opportunity for me to serve and to just really be considerate of who are our community members, what's right for us, and how can I work to help advance that.
I appreciate that. Madam President, your final thought. What is it that you want every student, every family, every community member, every teacher to know that what you're going to represent with you running for election this November?
So, Crystal stole a little of what I was going to say. For the students, it's all about them.
Absolutely.
That I am 100% dedicated to ensuring that they get individualized, innovative, excellent education.
Absolutely.
And that is chief and paramount to every single decision that I make.
Right.
For families, we have a really diverse community. And I think we could probably do an even better job of making sure that all of those interests and all of those viewpoints,
Right.
whether it be race, religion, sexuality, the whole spectrum, perspective, upbringing,
Sure.
class, etc., that is all represented.
Yes.
And not just represented, but thought about when we're bringing these programs.
Absolutely.
And that we are cognizant and appreciative of those diverse perspectives.
Absolutely.
For the community, same kind of idea, but again, informing, making sure that we do the best job we possibly can of informing why we're making decisions, why we're not making decisions, why we're taking action and why we're not taking action.
Gotcha.
And what the underlying data behind that, I think last night is another great example of making sure that people stay informed, but understand the numbers and the metrics behind that information and decisions. And last but not least is our educators. It's continuing to support them, knowing that as a board, they are our vessels to educating these students.
Absolutely.
And that we are here for them, we serve them, and that they are what makes this community excellent.
Absolutely.
And so we will give them the resources, the time, the energy, that we are here to hear their input. We want their input, and however we can make this district better.
And retain them, that we will
retain
them.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, listen, it has been a wonderful conversation. I appreciate you guys. I love the perspectives. It definitely, it feels good to, kind of partner with people and work with people when we all have the same mindset. And like I said, we may have different avenues to getting there, but we just care about getting there. And we all want to arrive at the same place. And I think it's an honor to be able to, kind of partner with you guys and to, kind of be able to be about the good change, the continual growth, but also the good change that's happening within our schools.
Right.
As kids are evolving, we're evolving with them.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's what really matters. It's one of the best things one of the most fabulous things, in my opinion, that we did was the calendar of all different cultures that are being represented.
Yes.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I took that same calendar and brought it to where I work, and they loved it.
Oh, that's awesome.
They loved it. They said, "Oh my gosh, they loved it."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Amazing.
So that's and what that speaks to us and our innovation, our thoughtfulness, our forward thinking, that we can produce like a template for other districts to benefit from.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that goes from just the goodness and the collaborative work that we all do.
Leading from the front.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So listen, it's been a pleasure. I thank you guys. And
Can we ask you a question? Because I feel like, you have taken the helm and you are really good at what you're doing.
I appreciate you.
But I want the community to have, I'm going to speak on behalf of Crystal and Julie. We want the community to have an opportunity to hear why Jason Bryce is running, while you will be spectacular in your role, and why you serve this community.
All right. So, you guys weren't going to set me up like I thought y'all might have been setting y'all up. So listen, the main reason why I'm running is because I feel like, back to your point, the job wasn't done, right? So I think in my situation was that I did, 2023, right? I didn't run. And then, it kind of just the way, and just my opinion, the way God works, it became an opportunity for me that, I knew that the job wasn't done, but life sometimes happens.
Yes.
And so then when the opportunity came again, I said, okay, you know what, God, you're speaking to me. So let me do what I need to do. So that's what it is. And I just want to be able to serve. That my life is really all about serving and healing people. I'm a licensed professional counselor, but licensure doesn't mean anything. What means something for counseling is your heart. And I have a heart for the people, and I want people to be good. I want people to live their dreams. I want kids to live their dreams. I was a kid that, I promise you, I was like a C to F student. I went to summer school 6 times. I hated school. The fact that I'm in here with you guys, okay, is an honor, because it lets me know that I'm in a room where I can grow and I can learn. I'm just a kid from Long Island, New York, that was a DF student that didn't go right away to school, didn't really care. I just wanted to hang out and hang with my girlfriend and play music in my car in Genesis. So to go from that to, you know, where I'm at today, serving people, helping people, my life is all about service. And you know what? I love this school system. I love the fact that when I first came to this district, this community, I didn't know anything about, the public schools or whatever, but I met Mr. Cramner, and seeing those teachers over there and how my kids were like, wow, I was like, wow, this is a really good school. My gosh, I couldn't believe it. And so I just really want to be about serving people and being fair. Like, I'm not really about being messy. I'm not really about, allowing my ego to take over my spirit. And it happens though, because, sometimes we don't, we see other people that have different agendas, and that can like kind of spark a fire to your ego. Like, oh, now I need to shut this down. But you know what? Those things take care of themselves. I've learned that enough to that if we focus on the purpose and focus on the kids, the community, the teachers, the community members, I think that we'll be just fine. And that's my last thing I want to say. Focus. Those that anybody, even because it's us, is going to be somebody next year, the year after, whatever. Whoever decides to want to do this, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Because when you do it for your selfish reasons, then what's happening is that everybody else in between, the kids, the community members, the teachers, they're collateral damage.
Yes. Exactly.
And that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair. And you know what? But those things have a way of taking care of itself. And that's why I'm running.
We're so lucky to have you.
Yes,
we are. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I'm Jason Bryce.
I'm Monica Watson.
I'm Julie Ketover.
I'm Crystal Munyon.
And we are Ideas for Tomorrow.
This presentation has been brought to you by Four Walls Productions, where we specialize in creating and bringing your ideas from concept to reality. For more information on products, pricing, and more, please visit us on the web at fourwallsllc.com or call us at 856-650-6556.